Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, we're starting out a new week, and just like all the weeks before, this may be a week that changes Bitcoin forever, and I really mean it. We have some big things to cover today, and yes, I really mean it. There are some things happening this week that may change Bitcoin forever. So let's talk about it. But we are starting out the week a little bit lower than last week, but we know that since Bitcoin has cracked $100,000, we have been swinging up and down now. Now, cracking 100,000 is no longer a new thing. We're starting out the week right now at right under 99, but just yesterday we cracked 100,000 and went up to 101, right? So let's see. Today we could go right back up. Wall Street is looking like it wants to go kind of mixed. Nasdaq in the pre-market. Well, let's see. Oops. Pre-market. Dow is green. Nasdaq is red. It could go either way. But looking at later this week, there will be two readings, CPI and PPI, and a jobless claim. But overall, we know later this month, we will get another FOMC meeting, and it's already baked in that we will get another rate cut, right? 87%. So that is good. That means overall, counting this one, we we will have one full basis point cut, and whenever the rates go down, that gets people to, start start spending basically, right? And that's good overall for everyone. It's good for businesses, good for consumers, good for everyone in general when the rates start coming down. It's kind of like the liquidity injection, right? But we need a lot more of this. So obviously going to 2025, we will get a lot more rate cuts, but this is just kind of the beginning. But I do think that this is, again, we're in December. We're only in the second week of December. So I think all this is leading up to something even greater, right? Generally speaking, when you have rate cuts, the markets react very well. And, we get what's called a Santa rally that happens in December. So I think this will help push the Santa rally even further, and I think we're going to see some tremendous moves in the last 3 weeks. So we'll see. Now, as for these, like what I just alluded to, what could change Bitcoin forever? Okay, let me talk about it. I'm not exaggerating. So remember, Michael Saylor, right? He talked or actually presented to the board of Microsoft on whether or not they should add Bitcoin to their balance sheet. Well, they will be deciding tomorrow. They're putting it to a vote tomorrow, right? So that will be absolutely monumental. If Microsoft votes to actually put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, that will force every single big tech company to do so. So that's why that could change Bitcoin forever. Obviously, Michael Saylor has been doing it. Obviously, we're seeing Bitcoin being embraced by many other companies on the planet and even countries. But for big tech giants to start doing so, that's going to change the landscape. Okay. Now, every single big tech giant will start FOMOing in, and they have enormous amount of money. And and not only Microsoft, I mean, yes, they're ahead of the game. Their shareholders are like demanding it. Today, Amazon shareholders are pushing it too. They're pushing for 5% allocation, right? So it's already happening, even without Microsoft. Others are already pushing for this. That's what's amazing about this. So think about it, right? If this happens tomorrow, if Microsoft, if they approve, or if the shareholders, like if the vote actually just approves this, I mean, Amazon, Meta, Google, I mean, Nvidia, everyone will be joining in, and that'll be like, I mean, it's just gonna be crazy. It's just gonna be absolute craziness if you think about it. They all hold, I mean, according to this article, Amazon holds 88 billion in cash. Microsoft probably hold way more than that. And then Nvidia and others, they all hold like 50, 100, 150 billion in cash. I mean, think about just putting some of that in Bitcoin. It's going to be like craziness, craziness. So yeah, it could change Bitcoin forever. That's what I do, at the beginning of this video. So it could happen. It could happen, guys. Now, outside of these guys, Saylor, of course, being the big daddy of Bitcoin, decided to purchase 2.1 billion more Bitcoin. Now he holds 423,000. He just will continue to buy and buy and buy and buy. He does not want to lose to anyone at this point. So, yeah, so that's not a surprise. That's not a surprise at all. And look at this list of just all the companies that hold Bitcoin, right? I mean, of course, Saylor is leading the way, but everyone else, they hold a good amount. You add it all together, that's a good amount of Bitcoin. And this does not include the ETFs, right? You add in the ETFs, that's a bigger amount. Look at Metaplanet. Metaplanet now shows up in here. I mean, look at Metaplanet now. Um, Over 100 million in Bitcoin. I remember when they started adding, it was just like a few million here, there, and then like DCAing along the way. Now they have over 1,000 Bitcoin, over $100 million worth. That added up pretty quickly. I remember people were still making fun of the fact that they were just adding a few million here and there. All of a sudden, it's worth over $100 million. That's from Metaplanet, and they're doing it right. All they did was copy Saylor's strategy, and it's working. It's working. And El Salvador's DCA strategy has worked too. 300 million. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what embracing Bitcoin has done for countries, for other companies now, right? And for retail investors like us. I still don't think people realize that beginning of November, Bitcoin started out in the 60s. Okay. 60s. In the beginning of the year, Bitcoin was still what, 30s? So yeah, I just don't think people realize how fast things have come, right? And let's not forget about the altcoins that have doubled and tripled too in such a short amount of time, right? So there's still a lot of room to grow. That's the whole point that I'm trying to say is it's not too late. I've been meeting a lot of people, even down in Miami. Now I'm in LA. A lot of you guys may have saw I tweeted out attended a Lakers game yesterday, although I was like really, really sick, and you guys could hear my voice. I'm still recovering, but I'm much better today. But the reason why I didn't do a Sunday walk video yesterday because I was really sick. But people that I met in Miami, a lot of people like thought that Bitcoin may have been like getting too expensive, right? Retailers go not have interest, but you know what? I still think that it's not too late to acquire Bitcoin. I still think that Bitcoin is not. I mean, it is expensive, but it hasn't topped out. Bitcoin's gonna go up a lot higher, right? And it's still worth to accumulate Bitcoin. Fractional Bitcoin is still worth accumulating because by the end of the cycle, Bitcoin is going to be a lot higher, 200, 300,000 by the end of the cycle. And by the end of the next cycle, probably $1 million. I mean, this is one of the reasons, if you look at it, the exchange reserves, it just continues to drop more and more and more. I mean, it's just common sense. You put two and two together, right? It's just dropping. Like when the demand is so high and supply is so low, what do you think is going to happen to the price? It's going to keep on going up. It's just really that simple, right? So it's definitely still worth to accumulate Bitcoin, even at these levels. And we know that it just surpassed 100,000. It's very easily capable of going above, and who knows where it could end up by the end of this year. That's the exciting thing. Now there's no limit. Now there's really no limit on how high it can go, right? And it's the same thing with alts. alts have been doing very well too. And there's really no limits to the alts now. Just a matter of how much money retail FOMO's in, how much the whales FOMO in. We have seen alts do a tremendous moves recently. So it's gonna get really exciting. Here's the one: Sui network inflows is the highest among any blockchain. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. Even higher than Arbitrum, Solana, Base, and then recently also Chainlink has been doing really well. Right? A lot of people didn't realize. I discovered that they're ISO 20022 compliant. They're based in the U.S. Biggest Oracle in the space, RWA play. They've been doing really well as uh, as well as Ripple and Stellar and Cardano and several others, right? But yeah, I mean, a lot of these are starting to do really well. I think today, over the weekend, things were doing well. I think yesterday, last night, things sold off a little bit, but after the market opens, we could see a good recovery back up. But overall, hey, you really can't complain about the market right now, right? We're going up and down, little volatility, little volatility. Obviously, this was a big shakeout, but overall, hey, market was looking really good. I do think that the Santa rally the next 3 weeks could be absolutely fantastic for Bitcoin and crypto. So stay strong, my friends. I don't know. I should be streaming tonight. I should be streaming tonight as long as my voice holds up and I don't get any sicker. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye bye.